To throw anything.
Well, really, you're not. Depends on how heavy it is.
Yeah, but see, I could see, I could protect myself. I got this computer shield.
And she's over my lifeline there. Yeah, oh my.
Okay, now we're satisfying OSHA here.
That's the only attempt to start on time.
We're catching bugs on the tape.
Usually do.
That's an interesting little.
We have everybody here,
Double
especially
duty.
this radio in Tennessee too. You just. Ready? Good afternoon, folks. It's really a pleasure this afternoon to welcome you to this session of the Board of Elections meetings. It's a great privilege to be able to serve in this capacity and to welcome the new board, those that were existing board members, Mary Ann and Jake, and Sally, and Courtney as a new board member, and I'm Dr. Glenda Weiner, your new board chair. So thank you for being with us today. We also have two folks online that have joined us online, so thank you for that, and thank you for being with us today. The first item on the agenda for this meeting is the approval of the agenda. So you've all received a copy. Are there any adjustments or amendments to the agenda? Looks good. Hearing none, may I have a show of hands of approval of the agenda? Thank you. Unanimous for the agenda. And you also received copies of the minutes for both the June 17th and the July 22nd minutes. If you would please, let's start with the June 17th minutes. Are there any amendments or corrections to the amendments?
No pickleball.
Except,
No
yeah, no,
pickleball.
that was the first thing. I'm like, when did the board?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always something in there.
They have fun, don't they?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So hearing none, Do all those in favor of approving the minutes as circulated, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and then the minutes for July 22nd, which was the swearing in minutes. Are there any amendments or adjustments to those minutes?
No Macarena. No Macarena.
Maybe.
Never done a Macarena. I've watched others do it, but I've never done it.
All right, hearing no amendments or changes to the minutes, all in favor of approving the minutes as circulated?
Aye.
Please
Aye.
signify by saying aye. All right, thank you. At this time, I will turn over the office updates to our Executive Director, Corinne.
Thank you, Glenda. So I've got a few updates, and the first is definitely welcoming. This is the first meeting of our new board for the new term. So welcome, everyone. The second meeting, technically. The swearing in is the first meeting. Thank you, Mary Ann. And Glenda, thank you for introducing everyone. I also wanted to take this time to honor the two board members who rolled off the term, and that is Glenn and Steve. And if you would come up, we have plaques for you to honor your service. Steve served for 2 full terms for us, and Glenn stepped in when we had a vacancy and served for a term and a half. We were so lucky to have both of you on our board. I said this before, but Glenn, your defense of staff and remembering the people part was so important to us, and our staff extra love you for it. And Steve, you have taught us so much about making sure to have everyone's perspective heard and brought to the surface in a different way than I had done before, and I'll carry it forever. So thank you both.
Amen.
What he said. I got on the way over, I stopped off at Register Deeds, that little business there, and ran into, we had a good conversation. And I threatened to run into this one, but we caught it in time. But, we were talking about, about engaging skeptics, election skeptics, and appreciating that skepticism is a far better alternative to cynicism. Skeptics you can engage, they're usually with you and love you. Cynics are out in the parking lot letting air out of your tires. But also the marvelous thing was how skeptics, and I confess I was a skeptic. But when I got there and spent a little time, I realized how God had gifted people to come to this, be in this work and be in this place at this time. And I drank the Kool-Aid. And I would commend the Kool-Aid to all of you, it's tasty. You will become an election maniac like everybody else here. But thank you, I'm very grateful for this and grateful for the opportunity to get to know you all as friends. And God bless you. And you too. Thank you.
Now, gentlemen, before you go, there's still minutes that need your signature. And I'm not kidding.
No, one last set of signatures.
Steve said no pickles when I tried to get him to. And if you want something to protect your little, you can put that. Okay, good.
Yeah, no, I actually hung it for yeah, they gave me a nice commemorative baseball bat this year. He said, okay, we're not coming back, right? Okay. Well, they just have younger people. My left knee.
I guess so. Yeah, are you gonna be a forwarder now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. We appreciate all the work you and Steve.
You can always take it to them and see what they do.
And this one is for your autograph.
Oh, would you like a pen? Would that be helpful if we've asked you to sign the, and if you want to take this as what your protective, that's up to you. Otherwise,
I need to change my password, so I'm gonna turn it off and turn it back on. Make that bad? Only did what I wanted.
Good idea.
Round the horn, Mary Ann.
Yes. Should be one more.
Okay.
They should be all signed.
Oh,
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
They-
the other one was up there.
Yeah, it went up there.
All right. Ready to move forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I also wanted to report, of course, the board knows this, but wanted to let everyone else know that our orientation went really well. We did it all day, had a chance to learn about mechanics, but also learn about each other. And so I was happy with that. I also had a lot of people at the conference, which we'll talk about next, come up to me and say that I gave an orientation overview to the state a few months ago in a virtual session, and that inspired other different types, because every county's different, every board is different, of orientations, and so you have inspired others too. The state conference, everybody attended, which was fantastic. So myself and the board are required to do training. So we have fulfilled our training requirements. We also had a bunch of staff attend too. So we support them also getting certified. So we checked those boxes. We also had 3 staff members get recognized for certification. So that was AK, Justin, and Morgan. So they got their certification, which is wonderful. So I like my staff to all go through certification at the state level and then move on to national once they get the state level. And then we also had a chance to meet the new administration at the state conference. So it was a productive conference. It was pretty intense, I would say, that first day especially. And they did send out a survey. So if you have any comments for improvement or things that you liked, let them know. Mary Ann, Jake, and I participated on a panel in the last session on helpful things for board members, and I was really surprised and happy and thankful to see that there were probably 500 people in the audience. I thought it was the last session of the conference. I thought everyone's going to the beach, but they didn't. They stayed. They attended. The session went really well.
Fortunately, it was 100 degrees out. And if you went to the
That's true. Everyone, that's right.
That's
There's
true.
the air conditioning.
This is true.
But I felt that the session went really well. There was a lot of people on the panel, and I was also really thankful. It was Trina Parker-Velez, the previous director in Buncombe County, who was the deputy director. It was her last panel because she is retiring from the state board. So I was really happy that it went so well for that reason too. Is there anything that I missed to highlight from the conference?
I completed the questionnaire and sent it into
survey.
the state board. And I told them how much I appreciated the conference. It was full of information, but I had to confess my disappointment that the 2 new state board members were not in attendance. And I still don't understand the reason why. So I will remain disappointed until I see them at a meeting.
Are they usually all there?
Yes.
What is the?
Yes, that typically you get all 5 state board members there, and the state board chair will have some remarks, and that just didn't happen this time. I'm waiting for the vision statement is what it is, really. I thought that Mr. Hayes did a good job of putting the emphasis where he thinks it belongs, but I was kind of hopeful to hear from
I
Mr.
see. You want to
DeLuca.
hear more from the state board
Board.
itself.
Right.
Right.
But Professor Joyce was as always, incredibly informative and entertaining all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes, he's great. Okay, the next on my office updates is that the party judges have been turned in, the nominations for party judges have been turned in by both parties. So they're both on schedule, which is fantastic. The Republican Party had a change in chair and there are some challenges with that. And so their numbers weren't as high as they were last time. But and Karen still has to go through vetting, going through the list and making the assignments that will be given to you all on the 19th. That's the nomination day. So there were 90 names turned in from the Republican Party and 330 from the Democratic Party.
Director, was that supposed to be including early voting, or is that just precincts?
I believe so.
We asked the party chairs if they wanted to include early voting nominations, they could, but it's not required at this time. So some of the people on the list are early voting people only, and some are early voting and election.
Okay. Thank you.
Are those percentages pretty close to what our county looks like?
That's a good question.
No.
No.
Well,
What's our county? Do you have a sense of that, what the percentage is, Democrats to Republicans? I know we got the independent
Just-
piece, but
The top of my head, like
do you have any idea about that?
It is
40,
on our
32,
website.
28. So.
It's on our website and on the dashboard. You can definitely get that. Our website is changed, so I'm not as fast.
yes, it
Can
has.
someone else look that up?
Well, you'll also keep in mind,
Unaffiliated.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
I understand that, but maybe all three of them. That would be great.
Mhm.
Thanks.
And that's the biggest group. I
Right.
think that's 40%.
The 40 is the unaffiliated. Yeah.
All right, Amy's gonna work on those numbers.
Director, may I ask, Karen, is there a list submitted for the unaffiliated group as well, or how do you,
They
once you
choose-
appoint these?
They choose which party they feel they affiliate with the closest.
The closest, okay.
And those parties, the two parties nominate unaffiliated people.
Okay. Thank you.
So you want me to give the numbers, Mary?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so we're out of 209,620 voters. That's the total amount of registered voters. We've got 71,356 Democrats. We've got 44,632 Republicans and 91,092 unaffiliateds.
So it's not quite 2-to-1 Democrats, Republicans, and these numbers that we just received were almost 4-to-1 for the Republicans being underrepresented.
Right.
Okay. That's kind of what I was trying to get a feel for.
All right, next agenda item is candidate filing for the municipal election, so that's Woodfin. Oh, timeout.
Could you please tell us where we are on municipal billings in your office updates?
Yes, I have that on my list.
Oh, because I saw final, early voting, this election coming up later. But okay, I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
I'll turn on my mic too.
That's okay. Okay, so candidate filing for the municipal election is complete. This was Nate's first filing period, and he did a fantastic job. So we had 17 filers. This is Weaverville Mayor is up. There is also Weaverville Town Council, Woodfin Town Council, and Woodfin Water and Sewer. So between all of those, we had 17 filers, and we are ready for the municipal election. And you can find out who those filers are on our website, so you can see all of those names.
Yep.
The next update is one that Amy will give. So as you all know, the state board has initiated a statewide registration repair project. And so we just wanted to give you an update on where we are with that. I think you all received the number memo on it. So we're in the county board checking phase, and Amy will give you an update on how Buncombe County is doing.
Hi there. So on July 17th, we got a memo that was instructing us to. Okay. On July 17th, we got a memo instructing us to do registration repair for those voters that did not have a driver's license number with us, the last four of their social. They also did not tick the I do not have that ID box, and they're not exempt because they registered prior to 2004. So we're trying to, first, there's several stages that the state has a plan for what to do about this. We're in the very first stage, and that is gonna last until August 15th, when we're trying to complete a record review and search for those numbers, because sometimes we have these numbers in our records, but because of the laws at the time, we weren't required to digitally input them. So that's what we're looking for now, records that have numbers that have not been digitally input. So we're looking and we're finding stuff. Originally, statewide, the numbers were just over 103,000 voters. Now, as of snapshot I took this afternoon, the work is continuously happening, so it's changing by the minute. We now have 90,185 voters that are on the list. So that means there's over 10,000 voters, over 13,000 voters that have become safe, meaning they have those numbers in their records now. And Buncombe County, we started off with 2,087 voters on that list. Right now, the snapshot this afternoon has 1,662 on that list. And we have people working on it every day. So we're working our way down, and we're about 80% finished with the review. So there's going to be a number of people that don't have those numbers. And then what will happen with that is there will be a mailing. There will actually be 3 mailings, and that will be done by the state. And those dates are yet to be announced. So the point is that those that don't have the numbers will have an opportunity to update their records, hopefully with these mailings.
So they use the information that you will have, for each county will provide to the state for the latest address, all of that kind of thing.
They provided a process for us so we can input these numbers in without messing up our normal cycles of registration, because that all is in the system to trigger mailings and
Right.
confirmations and things like that. So we're not messing with that part of the system. We're just trying to input it, but then it will go through the SEAMS process just like every other thing to become validated.
Okay.
So that's when we know, like, I don't have anything to do with validating numbers. That's in the system. The state system does that.
So when you go to clarify a voter, and how is the data provided or verified from the voter back to?
So what we're looking for is a record that has their signature where they requested a voter application.
I see.
So, it needs to be that they wanted to be registered, they signed off on that. And, there's a date usually, either by them or by us stamping or some way. So those are the pieces of information that are really relevant.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Dr. Weiner.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Kathy Walsh.
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder, I'm aware that a memo had come out from the North Carolina State Board saying there's going to be a new system in place to count and check all of these records, and I wonder if there's any more information about that.
Corinne, may I defer to you or to?
Are you talking about the registration repair?
Not registration repair,
The
but
whole
just
IT
general
system, yeah.
record keeping for all of.
I think she means a new
Yeah,
SEAMS
I think the
system.
new SEAMS, right.
So,
The new
so
SEAMS system,
New
yes.
SEAMS has been talked about since I have been
Yeah.
here. This is promising movement, though.
There's money.
So the budget, and please correct, things are changing all the time. So if I say something and there's been updated information, definitely, speak up. But to my knowledge, the budget actually hasn't been passed. But 15 million has been requested for that project. And beyond that, I don't know what the implementation process would be. There hasn't been talk about how they would gather information about how to build that new system or who would build it or those things. That information hasn't been given to us. But the system is definitely old. So the idea of replacement is exciting, definitely, but it is a very big project that needs to be taken seriously, carefully, and take a long. I would not imagine if they started on a new seams this year, I would not imagine seeing it until 5 years from now. It takes a very long time to develop a system this big.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Corinne?
Thank you, Amy. All right, so the last two things in my update are actually questions for the board. So, the first
Yes.
one, the first one is regarding our municipal billing. So I had given an update to the last board about our progress on that. Not everyone was here for that, so I thought I want to kind of go over that again. And then we've also talked about hiring an attorney for the board. So it's kind of brought in some questions about what process we want to take with this. So I wanted to dump that in the board's lap. So the municipal billing is required. We are required by law to bill municipalities. In 2020, sorry, backing up a little bit, it's not just about billing. The reason that is a thing is that municipalities pay the Board of Elections to run their elections. It's not the same as the county and above elections. They're under two different sets of laws. So that's just some background of why it's different, why it's set up that way. So in 2020, the city of Asheville moved from the odd years, which is the traditional year for municipal elections to occur in, to even years. And that was a controversial thing at the time. The city of Asheville has a primary. It's the only city in Buncombe County that has a primary, so that also complicated things. Because when they moved their nonpartisan primary, they put it on our partisan primary, and there were questions about legality all over the place. So that atmosphere was happening at the time, and then COVID happened. So 2020 had a lot of things happening in it. And I actually cannot remember if the other cities followed that year in 2020 or if it was the following. But that triggered the several other municipalities in Buncombe to also switch. So now we have Weaverville, Woodfin, Water and Sewer on the odd year, which is the traditional way, and then we have all the rest on the even years. That makes billing super complicated. So when 2020 occurred and COVID happened, we weren't quite sure how to bill. So we paused billing to try to figure things out. We got a plan together to bill, and we presented that to the county, and they were going through looking at how to do their billing for other things that they share with the cities. So they asked us to pause on that, which we did.
Was that in 2020?
Probably not. Probably 2021, probably, because
Right, so much was going
2020,
on. Yeah.
Yes. But I am a little fuzzy on the timeline. And and we did. We brought it back up recently, and I really like the plan that we have. It's a model that brings in registration also. But
Who?
Brings in registration.
So it's the municipalities by law should be paying for the registration
Okay.
upkeep as well as the running the election.
Okay.
And so we have developed a model, and I believe Victoria is here, she's hiding in the corner. So we've developed a model that we like, that we want to present to you. And that's where my questions come in. There's two things that we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to accomplish initiating billing in a way that we think is improved upon when we did it before. We also need to do it. It's a requirement of statute. And we would like to take the opportunity to redo our agreements with the municipalities so that we can make sure that we say, hey, remember to tell us about annexes. Remember to tell us if you have a vacancy, things like that to help communication there. So, we thought about giving that, and we actually have given it to Kurt Euler, the county attorney, to look over the agreement and the billing process. But if we're thinking about our own attorney, it feels more appropriate to go through them. So that's my question is, do you want to wait until that happens, until you have that discussion about whether you want to do that? Because I don't think that has been formally decided either. I think I know where everyone's leaning, but I think that might be a better path. So I wanted to know what the board thought about that. And then I also would like, just for good communication, to invite the municipalities to that meeting that we presented at. So I want it to be in a form that the board is ready to present if we're inviting municipalities. So I wanted your input on whether you wanted to hold a bit.
May I ask a quick question, especially of the existing, so Mr. Quinn, Ms. Brain, and Ms. Stein, if you could please share with all of us two things for me. The normal billing period. When does the billing normally occur? Obviously, they've been given a grace period now for an extended period of time. And how then, obviously we need to meet because it has to be discussed, the hiring of an attorney, because I was about to share that I believe the county attorney reviewing our policy is probably not the best path for us necessarily. But I would like to defer to you folks, please, to bring Courtney and I up to speed on where you think we are and should be.
And Victoria is also
And-
a resource we have today too.
Madam Chair, I just have one question, and that is legal. I'm not understanding. Legal review I get. I don't see why an attorney would present a financial model to us. It just seems inappropriate. So beyond legal review, I don't understand the interest in an attorney.
And having an attorney look at the
Well, I mean, looking at it, okay, but I really don't expect them to change it. So I just would like to know where you're coming from on that.
So the idea, so what we're presenting is different from, I am not aware of another county that would bill in the way that we're proposing.
The difference being the registration piece? What's different?
I don't know how much we want to get into
Okay.
the actual
Well,
model,
But there's some concerns that we're into new territory that.
yes, the law does not specify how billing should happen.
Mhm.
And so there are some counties who are billing, there
I
are some
see.
counties who are not billing.
It,
Well, to put this in perspective, when we were billing, like we built Weaverville Woodfin, that's the only election we have. All of the costs go to them because that's the only election we have. When we went to even year, it's mixed in with the other elections, so Corrine and staff were having a difficult time pulling out what goes to these municipality and what's cost we would have anyway. Is that correct, Corrine?
Yep, and we really want to be equitable, right? If we
With both of us.
yes, with all of the municipalities, so we wanted to come up with a way that could be fairly applied, that we could do on a regular cycle, that we could give, we also wanted to be able to give the municipalities an estimate ahead of time, which we haven't been able to do on the model that we had before. And so there are several ways, and bring in registration, which had not been done before, and I'm not sure that other counties do that either. So that's the piece on the model, kind of looking at the law. The law's one sentence, and how that applies to the model. I think that I keep saying it before you see it, but I'm very happy with it. I think that it is fair. I think that the municipalities will like it too. And we're going to do the agreement, and I think that's a legal document. So
Okay.
that
Yeah,
might
that part
might
I
be
That I can
understood,
see. That I can
the
see.
MOU, but
So maybe kind of, and the billing model is in the agreement, so it could, if you want to look at it as just looking at the agreement, that also makes sense.
And what are the concerns about using I'm not clear that I understand the concern about using the county attorney.
The county, so there's pros and cons always. Kurt's a very strong advocate of elections, so I'm happy that he is the county attorney. But this is a Board of Elections and municipal.
It's not the county.
It's
really.
not a county, yes.
Got it.
And so it doesn't,
It really
it's a little,
doesn't really fit there. Okay.
yeah.
As attorneys go, sometimes I think it's good to just find someone that you're comfortable with and put him in the wings and have him aside in case you need him later. I don't think that ever hurts anything. And just spend what you have in the budget for that attorney. We don't have to pay for the county attorney, I understand, but sometimes there are things that our own attorney would do for us better, in a better manner, I think.
I totally agree with that. I also am concerned about how much money we have set aside because we have some other issues
Yeah.
that we may really need to spend some money on with our personal attorney.
Yeah.
So that was kind of why I wanted to see, well, is this something that we could use?
I think this actually is going to play into that
I
other.
think it'll all fit together in
Yeah.
some.
Out of curiosity, who does the actual billing?
What do you mean by
Who sends out the bills?
To the municipalities.
We send out the bills in-house, right?
correct?
So Election Services
So it
is
goes to
doing
Board
the
of
billing,
Elections, yeah.
right?
Good.
The statute says, basically, we, Board of Elections, needs to be reimbursed for the cost. I'm kind of like Jake. I don't know why the county attorney or anyone from the county would really have anything to do with that because, number one, they don't know elections. Our staff is the one that knows elections and what it takes and what it costs. So it seems to me that that would be an in-house thing. I don't know why they would review it at all, to be honest with you.
The MOA I can see, but it seems to me that we're kind of putting the cart before the horse. I mean, we may not have any trouble with the MOA. We may present it to we decide the MOA, we present it to the community or the municipal players, and they say, okay, we'll sign whatever.
Yeah, because that memorandum of understanding is between Board of Elections and municipalities,
So
isn't
why don't
it?
we just do that and then see? I mean, then we make that determination about an attorney. We don't have to have an attorney for the MOU, do we?
No, you don't have to. This board can say,
Right.
I'm charging X dollars.
Right.
Like, this board can bill how they want to bill.
Madam Chair?
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering, did we have these agreements with the municipalities prior to the elections being changed?
Yes. When was the last time they were updated? So by the law says, you know, it's in place until it's not, and it was a long time ago.
Got it.
Okay, the reason I ask is, I'm guessing that the language in the existing agreements would pretty much conform to what you would have in a new agreement.
In the new agreement, we want to have more things of
Okay.
remember to
Okay.
tell us about
Oh,
annexation.
the annexation and the vacancies.
Kind of more of a, yes, of a checklist so that we're really clear on what
Okay.
needs to be communicated to us. 'cause
Okay,
we've
but-
had
Madam Chair, may I
Yes, ma'am.
speak? Sometimes it's just better to have an attorney write out the details about how you're going to proceed, and that sort of gives you a really good guideline of how to proceed. Billing seems to be a problem. I don't understand it because I'm new on the board, but I think an attorney could help.
Well, and this is just thought, if the existing MOU, and they're in place until not, then the meat and potatoes understanding that they owe money, and they understand that that's due and payable upon being billed, that already exists. That's clearly there, correct? So then we, for lack of a better word, amend it to include the additional information that we're requesting that staff have. But the clarity of the fact that the municipals owe the money, and it is of no consequence or decision by the county, I think is clear.
Good, and I don't think all the municipalities understand that. It's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to this exercise.
Yeah.
I've talked to elected officials who think that, oh, we're even year, so we don't get billed now.
Oh.
I look forward to those
So
folks.
this is sort of
hearing
setting the
reality.
stage for that.
Yeah,
And just as all these contracts are about better communication. So that is why I'm hoping that we renew it.
yeah, it's better communication, and it's clarifying expectations of each party so that there's no surprises. And when Director Duncan is talking about, yeah, we want to know about annexations, we want to know about vacancies, and it's because we've had things pop up in municipal elections related to those very things. And
Uh,
we hate getting surprised by it.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I think the impetus to make the change is the fact that they've changed their primaries. And they haven't been billed, and the statute hasn't changed.
Right.
They just changed when they're doing them. So, like Madam Chair said, the existence of our agreement is there. I don't see why we couldn't present them with an amended MOU and see what the response is. Now, we have discussed just having an attorney available to us, which I think is a good idea. I don't know that they need to be consulted until we
Need
get
them.
to a point where
Yeah,
we
don't
have some
that-
disagreement.
Yeah, we have that problem yet.
But I don't see why we couldn't present an amended MOU for consideration due to the fact that they changed their primaries. We didn't do anything different.
And when is the billing, Victoria, when does the billing normally occur?
I typically send out a bill in April or February. It just depends on what's on the calendar.
Is it,
Well,
is it billed before or after,
But in
It's
the,
after the
but.
election.
but
after
in-
the election? Okay.
Yes, but in the new plan, we would have a date each year. They would know what the dollar amount is ahead of time,
Right.
so that they could put it in the budget. We, you know, our proposal is to implement it for the municipalities so that they can have time to get it into their budgets, so.
That's
So
considerate.
that would be, yes,
Well,
stay, right?
Madam Chair?
And I think we should be.
Ms. Bachman, yes.
I think the sooner we get it, the rules and procedures, that how we want to operate in the future down with an attorney and let everybody know, the better off we'll be, just to avoid this from happening in the future. So we don't have any qualms about how we're going to get reimbursed for the money that we spend on the elections, and so that the cities will know to expect it.
So then would the new MOU be presented to the board at our next meeting? Or
That's
what are you?
So
saying?
I was hoping that, but Victoria will not be here at the next meeting, so that probably wouldn't be the best. But yes, at presenting the whole thing to you all in a public meeting, and I assume that the board would want the municipalities invited to that meeting.
Sounds fine.
Yeah,
Pleasure
surprises,
of the board?
surprises aren't fun for anybody.
Yeah.
They want to know how much we want.
Yeah.
And when they go, what? That's when we say, hey,
These
you
are
want
the
to pay us for
reasons.
20, 22, and 24?
Right.
Step right up.
I was
Right.
about to suggest
I don't
arrears,
think-
but maybe we just, they move forward with the current proposal in order to avoid.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing a look back on that.
And
Yeah.
you know, I think that that what we are presenting is fair, and I think that the municipalities will see that. I don't think that's something for us to worry about.
He
But-
has a point, though. It could be the carrot and the stick.
Hopefully we don't have to go there,
I'm
but,
good- I'm
but
good with the
having them,
sticks.
having them at that meeting will help with that.
It will.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it sounds like what the board is wanting is the full presentation with munis invited at the next meeting possible, which I have a feeling, it's not on the schedule, but I have a feeling you all are gonna want September meetings.
See you in September. That's
So that might be, something to put on the September agenda. We were hoping to do it for August 19th, but I don't think that's going to.
It's already a pretty full agenda from a look at it.
Well, and Victoria's not gonna be here, so.
Are you going to be here at the first week of September?
Yes.
Great.
Sometime in
No.
September. Okay.
The 3rd and 4th, right?
Yes,
First
I'm
week.
good.
Okay.
For some reason, I thought we had it on the calendar like September 7th or something
Oh.
originally, and I was like, blah.
Yes, first week.
All right.
Okay. Does it sound clear to you, Victoria? All right, so that's what we will plan for.
Thank you, Board.
Does that require action of any kind in this meeting?
I don't think so, but we haven't addressed the question about outside counsel. And it's something that, I mean, we're going to have to tackle sooner or later, and I think sooner is better. As Ms. Blossman pointed out, just having someone available in the wings gives us more flexibility.
Mr. Quinn, I know because I've sat in the meetings, there's been discussion about an attorney, I believe, that is in Raleigh.
Yeah, in Charlotte, and I wanted to bring everybody up to speed on that. The gentleman's name.
Yeah.
The firm is Tharrington Smith. And Colin Shive. Thank you. Appreciate that, AK. But something has occurred to me, and probably other people on the board. There are other attorneys that we might want to consider. And I can think of one former member of this board who's an attorney in Buncombe County, and his name is Bo Carpenter. And I know he deals with Buncombe County because he told us. And Madam Chair, I want you to be sure that we haven't decided anything, and we got 5 members on this board. We need to have a discussion and do what we think is best for the board. I'm just throwing both those names out because we have used Mr. Shive in the past when we had controversies about the Asheville municipal election, and he helped us enormously. And Mr. Carpenter was a highly valuable member of this board and knows elections and knows county government. So those are 2 potentially excellent resources, and I just want to put them out there.
Any other discussion about those 2 gentlemen or thoughts about it?
Well, yeah, who would make the overture? How would we go about
I
contacting Mr. Carpenter. We've already contacted Mr. Shive, so.
Oh, I think I still have Bo in this thing here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I have
But,
phone.
and I actually have Mr. Shive in there too.
So-
But I don't feel it's really my place to.
Well, and like you say, it's really, until
Grab the
we as
reins.
a group
Would choose
decide
an
the course
attorney.
of action, or do we want to talk to them, come back and see? Because my first thought immediately when you suggested having one, is a retainer, are they going to require that? Is it going to be hours billed only as we?
Oh.
Which we had found out from
Yeah,
Colin
we
Schott.
have a letter of engagement from,
And I, you know,
From
I'm,
Colin?
Yeah.
we do, and I'm
We
sorry,
haven't
I didn't bring
proceeded
it
on
with me. And I will make a point of providing a copy of that to AK, so she can circulate it among the board members, so everybody knows what we've seen. Now, I will tell you right now that the engagement letter we got was plain vanilla boilerplate. And it had elements in it that probably aren't relevant to us. So when you see it, I mean, don't be put off by the fact that it's not tailored to Buncombe County. It was intended as just a first communique to initiate a back and forth. And I called Mr. Shive, you know, some weeks ago and told him that we were in transition. And, you know, we're still interested in retaining outside counsel, but it will be the new board that does it. So he was aware of, or vaguely aware of what our timetable looked like.
Well, and I'm certainly willing to make the same phone call to Bo Carpenter and ask
Great.
for his
Mhm.
information to bring back to the board, and then we can
Great.
discuss both. And if there's someone else
Yeah.
that someone at the board would like for us to consider as well, obviously not limited to those two folks, but if that's a good place to start. And then if there are other names available, obviously, at the pleasure of the board, we'll consider who we hire.
You know, Mr. Schultz and Mr. Aceto might still be practicing.
no,
I thought I'd try anyway.
Right, I will do that and bring that. And Mr. Quinn, if you would please bring
I will.
the paperwork from the other,
I will. Y'all will have it this week. I'll
And
get
then
it
we
into
can-
AK and get it.
and I'll do the
circulated.
same. I'll get it to AK to get out to everybody as
Thank
soon
you.
as I get something back from Mr. Carpenter.
How local are we looking at?
Bo's
Do-
right next door.
Okay, so it
local.
would be helpful to have someone local
Yeah,
possibly.
and the other
think so,
gentleman, I
too.
think, Mr. Quinn said is Charlotte, correct?
Right, and in my experience, when you are looking for counsel to engage a local government, there are any number of local attorneys who don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole
Yep.
because they already have relations with the county government, and when they look at us, they say, oh, no, you're not going to get all adversarial now, are you? That'll mess up our other stuff, so.
Right.
That,
So they have conflicts.
when we originally went down to
Have to
Charlotte
find
to get
someone
this law
with
firm, that's why we got them, because there was a bit of a tug of war going on
Yeah,
locally.
no conflicts.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Of
Thank
interest.
you all so much for yes, ma'am.
I just had one other, Victoria prodded me. With
From
the-
over there?
From over
She's
there.
good. Mind control.
On the municipal billing, so Tim Love has requested an overview of what we're doing. And I have been providing that information. And I did give the MOU to Kurt Euler.
Yeah.
I'll bring back whatever input I get from that, but I would like us to stay on the schedule of,
Yes,
yes,
moving.
okay.
Madam Chair,
I was,
I have a question about why Mr. Love should be involved. And it would be my preference that this is in-house and that Victoria should be reporting to you and you to us. That's just
that
where
was one of
it's just where I come from on that.
my question, especially with Kurt and with Tim. This isn't a county purview. It's our purview. And you and Victoria are working on that. It will come back to this board for a vote, and it is what it is. So I think if Tim wants to join the meeting,
obviously, he's welcome to be in
Absolutely.
attendance to the meeting, but
Yeah.
any further updates would have to go through the board to move forward.
Okay, I can pull those back and make sure that they know what our plan is so that they can join the pieces that that they're interested in. Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Not for me.
Okay, thank you.
I have another.
Oh, I know.
On
This
this,
was going from billing to where
We're doing a lot right now. We are doing a
Yeah.
lot right now. Sorry, I don't wanna, is it ready?
No, we're good.
Okay, please, fantastic. All right, question number 2.
Yes.
The county has come to me in the form of Tim Love and Robert Brown, and has gone through the schedules for the warehouse building. And they believe that we will need to have a temporary location for our warehouse between the tearing down of 50 Cox Avenue and the building of the facility that's planned at Canoe Lane. They met with our department on needs of the warehouse, and they have been looking for the past 6 months for locations that work. I think that based on how things went with 35 last time, that the board should be engaged directly on the warehouse plans. And so my question to you is how you want that to happen. Would you like me to invite Tim to present on the project? How would you like to be briefed, informed on that project?
They will be replacing the warehouse on Cox Avenue at a location that we don't know yet. Is this what we're concerned
I
about?
keep forgetting that we're not quite on the same page. So, at 50, where our warehouse is currently, is slated for affordable housing. And that groundbreaking will happen at the beginning of 2027. We, as an office, can really only move at the beginning of those odd years. It's disruptive anyway.
yeah.
It absolutely is. But we just can't do it during election time. So that's our little window there. So basically, beginning of odd years. So 2027 is when they're planning on groundbreaking. They cannot build the facility that they have planned on Canoe Lane before then. It's just, the project is too big. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a problem with Jake sitting across from me.
We can move him over here and put Sally over there. It's so much. I kind of would like to have Jake right here anyway. Also.
I'm sorry, I'll stop it.
I can stand in front of it. Jake, watch it.
So the current-
As long as y'all realize that there's no surprises in anything Director Duncan is telling us.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
predicted it all.
Yeah, so the current plan is consolidating several departments out on Riverside Drive in Woodfin. And that is proposed for elections to go there as well. But that construction timeline that's not going to happen in time. And so now they're proposing a temporary facility in the meantime there. And like I said, we had one meeting that was productive about our needs and timeline. We could be there for just 2 years. I actually don't like that for
No.
2 reasons. I think moving this much
Right.
it is really, really difficult on us. And I think that I don't trust that the timeline, even that timeline would work out. So
Sure.
I don't want us to plan for this 2-year timeline, and it also, no, it seems ambitious to me also. But I feel like I'm getting out of my wheelhouse, right? I'm not a construction manager, and that's why direct engagement with the board makes more sense to me.
Corinne, what are we storing in those warehouses? Because Riverside Drive floods. It's in a flood area.
These are
And
wonderful
if these are valuable documents and
Oh, this is our
records-
machines.
These
We-
are machine, yeah.
They're our machines, well, they're millions of dollars worth of machines
Yes.
in a flood area. Does not make sense, and I think we maybe need to try to talk to the county about making other plans.
Yeah, and I think that all of those questions need to be answered in a public meeting, right?
Madam
So
Chair.
I just think that.
It just doesn't make sense.
Welcome to the board, Ms. Blossman. Welcome to the board.
I would like to make a suggestion that Corinne let the county know that any additional communications related to this move must go through this board. That instead of meeting with her and staff, that they need to meet with this board, present what they have, and then we will also have the ability to present alternate plans.
Right.
The county is paying for those machines, and they should be trying to protect their own investment.
It
Yeah.
would be nice if they were asking the right questions of
Yes.
the right people.
Yes.
Because you can't develop a plan without input from the folks that actually run and manage the, and I know they ask from, I don't mean that 100% literally, but it just seems to me like they ask and then they go on and do whatever the plan is.
Yes, a lot of data has been gathered. And I think that the plan needs to be talked about here with the board in a public meeting so that we can make sure that we're covering all of the bases, asking all of the questions of concern. Because, it is absolutely true that the county is financially constrained, right? But they need to talk to us about those things and what the limits are and
Right.
have us decide together.
If they're
what to do.
financially constrained, then why are they spending all this money to move us around all over the place? I'm just
We get
asking
to
the
ask
obvious
that
question.
question.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Corinne, but in the 35 Woodfin project, they did a lot of talking with you, leaving you with the impression that they would come back with plans that you could look at and make suggestions or changes to, and when they came back with their plans, there were no changes to be made. And there's nothing, I don't see anything that's going to prevent them from doing exactly the same thing with this project unless something changes in our side.
I think we're just going to have to get more proactive and just ask for meetings with the county.
Yeah.
Because our needs, I don't quite think they understand.
Well, and what's most concerning, I think, just from an election perspective, elections are probably one of the most important core services of a county's obligation to its folks that live here.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, you don't disrupt elections to build houses until you're ready to do those things. You leave your core services in place until you're ready. So that bothers me from the standpoint that I'd like to see us have more affordable housing as well as anybody. But I don't want elections disrupted or interrupted or turned upside down to accomplish that, because it seems counterintuitive to me.
It does.
Well said. And I think those are the kinds of things I'd love to be able to say in front of the folks that come and talk with us. So, and I think I really like what Mary Ann suggested here, is that we do this with with us at the table from the get-go. So.
Is it the county manager that we're dealing with or someone else?
So right now, we're working through Tim Love.
He's an assistant county
Right,
manager.
he's an head of that area.
My
I met
experience.
Tim at the,
My experience in dealing with Mr. Love is that this is going to end up on the county manager's desk. There's no question about it. I don't think Mr. Love has the authority from the county manager to do the kind of negotiating that we're going to need to do. And I like the idea of having the meeting just so we can set some boundaries and we can manage expectations. Up to this point, this board and staff have assumed the best of intentions and good faith on the county's part, and the county has not delivered that. The county has not engaged us properly, and the 35 Woodfin project is
A testament.
the 35 Woodfin project is a failure, in my humble opinion, for a variety of reasons. And given that track record, my trust in the county government to handle us properly is very, very low. And it's up to the county to rebuild that trust. And we can do that with better communications. We can do that with the meetings. But it brings me back to what we were just talking about a little while ago and the need for outside counsel. Because as we start to go down this path, I have a great deal of respect for the county attorney, and I think he's going to do a really, really good job for the county, but we sit on the other side of the table in that negotiation, and I think that we just really need to get on a stick, get that outside counsel. So we're ready for whatever. I don't know what it is, actually, but the county's got to prove that it means business with us, and the county has to learn this board can say and mean no.
Madam Chair?
Yes,
And one other thing to just add to this is we supervise Corrine, okay? And in trying to protect Corrine and not have her stuck in the middle of all this, that's another really good reason for them to be in front of us. So
I totally agree with that.
so I'm all in favor of.
She shouldn't have to take that battering. Yeah, that pressure by herself.
So my question, because obviously we've got to create a timeline of the attorney
It's first.
looking at what information that you've already been given, Corrine, for this warehouse situation. And then how do we want to move forward with how we meet or when we meet with the county? And then we've also got to meet to address the MOUs so that they're amended and appropriately handled. So I think we've got a timeline that both require an attorney. And then how do we want to schedule? Is that a question of calendars and talking to Tim and getting their calendars set so that we can move this in the correct order or sequence that it needs? Ms. Mossman?
One thing I could add to that too is that we need to give them our requirements for storage. How much storage space, square footage?
I think you've
and,
just done
and,
that, correct?
and
Yeah.
all kinds. Have we done that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's in place. Just give it to them, and it has to be in a safe place.
But what we don't have from the county up to this point is a vision of their strategy. And without that, I really don't know what they're expecting us to accept. Well, for the longest time, Ms. Bossman, they called it a storage facility, refusing to acknowledge that we were going to have staff present on site, which makes it a warehouse instead of a storage facility. Because they've been focused on other clients. And it's probably premature, but the longer we keep talking about this, the more I want a standalone building that's devoted to elections and elections alone.
Yes.
And I think that needs to be back on the table with the county. It will take them longer than we have to build a new facility. And I think that there might be a different way that we can house election services completely. And we just have to be a little creative and need to start looking around. I'd love it if the county helped us on that, but the board can do it too.
And be more proactive about it.
Yeah.
Tell them what we want.
Exactly.
Where the needs are.
And show them an alternative. I mean, we're getting vague alternatives from the county. well, yeah, we're gonna build this storage facility. I mean a warehouse. And, yeah, we're gonna build it sometime.
And it
Somewhere.
doesn't matter how far your election workers have to drive at midnight
Right,
on
exactly,
election night
somewhere.
Right.
to return
Right.
equipment and paperwork and all. There's a lot of things to be considered in that parameter of where it is, what it is, how it is, and why it has to be that way.
And,
So
and
we
the
need to keep-
county also has those parameters, and they need to communicate those
Right.
to us.
We have a strategic vision that we want to share with them, but we need to get theirs as well. And theirs will also be colored by the fiscal reality that the county faces. We can't assume what that looks like. They have to tell us. And the communication has been virtually non-existent up to this point, so.
Well, Corinne has communicated with them what we needed
Right,
with 35 Woodson.
right, but the.
And we didn't get it.
And what
No,
the,
it
con-
just was-
and what the concerns are. I mean,
So we have to realize that that's why this board needs to be involved, because they listened, and that's as far as it went for 35 Woodson.
Well, listening and hearing appear to be two different things.
Well, I think we're all in the same
Yeah.
Okay.
mind of
So-
we need to get them
I think the
before
biggest
us.
thing now, just for my own
Timeline.
clarification, is timeline.
Right.
Guess
Get
it-
the information on the attorneys, and then
Mhm.
how do we need to proceed to schedule?
Yeah, we got to do
That's
that.
partly up to Corinne and her staff, I would think, about which one of these issues is more, I mean, you're gonna have a better sense of, if we have to stack these up one after the other, what's more pressing, too.
I think it's important that we communicate about the facility, about the warehouse, as soon as possible.
I do too.
Because if they have already been looking for things for 6 months without telling me,
Right,
then I don't know what else is happening.
right.
Right.
So I think we need to have that discussion.
Well, I
If-
notice we
if
don't
you're
have
going
any
to have
meetings scheduled in September at all,
Oh, we're about to.
so we have.
I believe Tim is on vacation this week. But I have talked to him about attending the meeting for this purpose. And so I don't see why he wouldn't. And so choosing the September dates, I can propose those to them, and we can go from there. And we could also do the muni billing on that date too, and pull some stuff off that.
So we could make that would be our agenda, would be those two issues that we're talking about, yep. Okay.
Pull that off of the August 19th meeting too, the muni billing, because that's a big meeting.
Mhm.
So our regular meeting in September is September 2nd?
I don't think we set one for September.
Yeah, we don't have any set yet.
In the,
Okay.
in the draft calendar we got at orientation, it was September 9th.
Ah, I see. Yep. That one was draft, not set.
Right.
I know that Glenda's not available on that day. I think it's just the first week of September that would work
Okay.
best. And I think it was the 3rd and 4th.
Okay.
Well, I think the sooner we get a meeting together with the county, the better anyway.
Yeah, I think
Because
that
this,
it'd be productive for
this,
both sides.
yeah, seems to get out of control quickly with them.
So September 3rd, is that?
Sure, works for me.
Yeah.
Is that,
Work
and
towards
yet
that.
you
Mhm.
proposed
Yeah.
that either the 3rd or the 4th, so does the 3rd work?
One
with the
other,
board?
one other question, I think that's great, but that would require us then by August 19th to probably have figured out what we want to do about the attorney, right?
Well, we should,
I think the idea was to discuss it at that meeting in September. We'll have information about the two attorneys that we've mentioned in this meeting. And
In
and then we
September.
can figure out how to proceed. But once we agree how to proceed, you basically have an agreement in 2 days, so.
Okay,
if we have the
Yeah, that's-
information before the 19th, I say we discuss it then.
Is
If
that a
we, if,
problem?
you know,
Have
if
it
we,
before
if
the
we
night?
have the information.
Okay, well, I'll have everything, everything.
I mean,
from
you
Mr.
have,
Shive.
you already
If you
have
could
what
do it
you've
by
got
the
from
19th.
Shive.
Oh,
If
yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll make the phone call tomorrow.
Okay, great,
Okay.
okay, 19th.
We'll
19th.
bring
I don't
it
think
to
there's
the
a
night.
long discussion in that other than
Yeah, which one?
which one and,
Yeah.
you
What are
know,
they gonna cost us?
right.
Right.
That's two questions.
Do we have a budget?
Sort
Little.
of.
Teeny
A
tiny.
little, pretty little,
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay, we have something.
about
Yeah, we-
5,000.
Do you want to ask the board to add that to the agenda?
Additional put in
Board, if I may
Okay,
ask,
That's what I heard. Okay.
the agenda for the 19th would need to be amended to include discussion of attorney prospects. May I have a motion from the board to amend?
I so move.
May I have a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
Discussion. I don't think you need to do that. You're the chair.
You set the agenda.
Set the agenda. Go for it.
Okay, so then
Glenda,
we'll change
Glenda,
the-
Glenda,
change
that's
the
it.
agenda
That's
to
it. I
include
appreciate the
attorney
gesture, but
Okay.
yeah.
We've already told you how.
So we don't need action.
You don't have to tell me
We'll
twice.
get it. But I think I'm about to get a little pushback here, so I'm ready.
Oh, not pushback.
Okay.
And I think on the agenda, we had the municipal,
Right.
but we can't do that, so we'll move that to September too.
That makes sense.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. So municipals to September, please, AK, and then the attorney on the 19th. Thank you.
Sorry.
I'll just do it from now on.
Can I ask a clarifying
That's all right,
question?
thank you.
For the Wednesday, September 3rd meeting, is that also at 3:30?
Fine with me.
That's fine with me.
And where, may I ask, will that meeting be held?
It's gonna be here.
It will be here, it won't be ready. So,
I think we
Yes,
ought to
please, at
start
3:30.
squatting here anyway.
Here.
I have
And
too
that's the
much fun with
second.
these meetings.
Maybe they can give us.
It's the 3rd, it's a
Third, to Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay, got it.
Labor Day is Monday the 1st.
Okay.
And that is to just, I mean, we can do the agenda more closer, but largely to discuss
To
the
have,
Mikewood or
yeah, to have Tim
warehouse.
or some county representatives to have that first discussion with us.
It would be,
okay.
the county's presentation on
Do you
facility
present the board
strategy.
calendar, or do I- And then you're gonna amend it to conclude. Ms. Jake, if you need-
I don't think they understand that word, strategy.
You're gonna.
All right, so we'll,
Well, one thing, I'm looking at Tim's calendar, and
if I can have everybody back,
Okay, I'm
thank
back.
you.
I'm looking at Tim's calendar, and he looks more available on the 4th.
Well, he may need to adjust his calendar.
That agree.
Okay.
It's more appropriate for us to meet on the 3rd.
Okay.
Like it.
Okay, I think I finally finished the office updates.
In all fairness, I was being a little bit sarcastic, and I will not do that anymore in this meeting.
Sure.
I said this meeting. I didn't say
Okay.
forever. But the 4th is does the 4th work with
I
the
can make
board?
either
Sure.
one.
What day of the
I'm
week
easy
is
either
that?
way.
The
Either
4th
way.
is on a Thursday,
We'll make it.
but Corinne has the option to look at Tim's calendar through Teams, I presume, or be able to see. So does the 4th, he's more available at 3:30? All right. Is it the pleasure of the board we'll do it on the 4th?
That's fine.
Because I want to make sure he's here.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Tied to a chair.
All right, so the 4th for audience folks, the 4th at 3:30. All right, calendar updates. AK.
Hi, hello. At all of your spots, you have a draft calendar. As Jake noticed, we did amend it from the most recent one that y'all have seen. So the way that we have it on this agenda and the next agenda is that I present at this meeting and y'all would vote on the calendar at next meeting. So any changes that y'all discuss, I can definitely get to y'all, and then you'll have a clean copy to vote next time. Obviously, for next time, I'll delete the August 5th meeting since that will have already happened. And I will, as y'all just discussed, we're going to amend the agenda to have the present muni billing in September with the warehouse. since, and then that we're adding discussing legal counsel to August 19th agenda. And then I'll add the Thursday, September 4th at 3:30 meeting, which would include that municipal billing and the warehouse move, and then anything else that you might want to add before then. Just in general, I think you mostly already know, but the peach colored lines are things that are good for you to know. They're not events you have to be at, or some of them aren't even really events to be at. It's just so that you know, for example, absentee ballots for the municipal start going out October 3rd in case people ask you. I tried to put statutes in most places, but you'll see that we have the October 7th meeting is our first absentee meeting. So that starts. Something that does become a question, and I'll go ahead and state, is that we, according to statute, you start the absentee meetings 5 weeks before an election day. You will notice that this is 4 weeks before. It is because absentee ballots don't go out in the mail until after what would be 5 weeks before. And in the statute, it also says that we can cancel a meeting if. So since this is more just for your own education, that's why you won't see that meeting there.
So the statute.
Got
it.
Yep.
All right.
Because absentee ballots go out at different times for municipal primary and generals, they go out at different times. We can have the 5 weeks prior for the primary and the general. It's just the municipal that goes out later.
Okay.
So, other than that, these are, these are meetings that we put on sort of by statute. You're welcome to add any. A big thing to note is that, and you can add some after you vote on this. Y'all could vote on this next week and then decide as things go, oh, we need to meet again to discuss the lawyer again or whatever. I do want to note that the asterisks do denote meetings that we will be noticed in newspaper, and that's really the ones that I'm concerned about y'all voting on, because then we have to notice those at certain times throughout the election cycle.
I'd like to add possibly on this calendar a meeting that would be around, say, the 16th of September. Since we've got all this stuff coming down, it doesn't mean it's carved in stone, but we might want to kind of reserve that in our calendars for when we might need to meet because of all this that's coming down.
So if I may, if we could move it 1 week to the 23rd of September. I am out of town through the 20th for my 35th wedding anniversary. And it was a trip planned prior to my appointment, so
Well, I was thinking about at least one more meeting in September.
But if
since,
we could do it after the 21st, I'm back.
Do the 23rd then?
So if we could do the 23rd, Mary Ann.
No, that's fine with me. I just think we need to at least kind of have one on the books that we might need it, because there's just a whole lot coming down quickly that we probably might need to meet with some other county officials again.
Is the 23rd or 24th work better for?
I'd rather stay on Tuesdays just because we're used to them if we can.
Okay. So the 23rd at 3:30?
I will not be here, but
Are you here the
Are you
next
here on
day?
the 24th?
I'm on vacation that week.
Okay.
Hey, Nagy, how you doing?
You'll see me on the 19th, and I'll be there on the 23rd.
Okay. She's got you covered. Literally.
So either day works for you, Nagy, for that week, that 23rd, 24th?
I think so.
Let me look at her calendar.
If I could have a preference just on that 1 week meeting, if we could do Wednesday, Sally, the 24th. Okay. So if I may, please, meet on the 24th instead of the 23rd.
It's okay with
Just
me.
this one time, and then
Okay.
I'll be in the groove.
All right.
Okay.
We'll get you in the groove.
3:30?
That's
3:30.
September, right?
Yes, ma'am.
24th.
Okay.
24 September, 3:30, 59 Woodfin Place.
Yeah, we'll be here then too, Jay.
28801.
Have they put anything upstairs yet? I think we should squat.
It's just like sit in, yeah.
It's the American way.
This is on, isn't it? Yeah.
Possession's 9/10.
All right,
Okay.
taking care of you
Yeah.
Is the calendar, you have all that you need?
I think so. So we're adding the Thursday, September 4th at 3:30, Wednesday, September 24th at 3:30. The change is already said. I also, it looks like for that Thursday, September 4th, 3:30, we also might need to go over early voting poll worker appointments in that meeting. So if you, yeah, I'm getting a nod from Karen, so yes.
Okay, so we're good? Okay.
Um,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
any
AK.
other questions? Oh, why did I star this? I don't know. I started election day, but I don't remember what I was gonna point out about it.
Do we have to be available all day?
It will be different.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
We'll have to process absentees that day because of those statute changes.
Right.
We'll be doing more work.
Surprise.
I don't think we'll have very many that are
Yeah.
dropped off at the office.
Mhm.
And we might not have any.
Right.
I guess sort of with that point, maybe I was just wanting to point out election day. Yeah, it'll be a little bit different. We did also have a meeting scheduled for 1 p.m. the day after election day, you'll see, which will be new. Because of the provisional change, we're trying to get some of those photo IDs out so we can notice people as soon as possible.
Okay.
And then, of course, that Friday, November 7th meeting, starting a little bit earlier to try to get everything done in the deadline, the new deadlines.
Okay.
And I think those are, of course, this is all new to some of you, but trying to point out the new things.
Any other questions or concerns about the calendar? All right, I presume.
Not about the calendar. I would like to request, since the 19th is going to be voting on appointments of precinct judges, I would like to get a list from Karen of what we have now, so that we can take a look. Sally was mentioning parity, and so we can take a look at the numbers, just to see where we're at. Since we're going to be voting on it on the 19th, I'd rather see it ahead of time.
So Karen, when will you have them? So she just got the names.
Yeah, let me just clarify what you're asking. Do you want to look at the list that the two parties submitted?
Well, basically what you've got total, so we can see the numbers, the parties, and where they're going to be placed at this point, knowing obviously that it's going to change somewhat, but just so we can see kind of where we're at.
For the next board.
For
Yeah.
the 19th.
How many
Well, no,
spaces-
I'd like to see, yeah, because I like to be able to review it instead of sitting in a board meeting and going, oh, wait, you know.
How many spaces are we filling for the election? 240?
Will you be that far along by that, to get that out to us? I know there's a lot of placement and that kind of things.
Yeah, what I'm working on right now are chief judges,
Mhm.
and I should probably have that finished by the end of this week.
Mhm.
For the two party judges, there's much less discussion.
Yeah.
Because a Republican can't fill a Democratic slot and a Democrat can't fill a Republican slot. So whoever the party chair tells me is their first choice for that precinct, that is pretty much the person that's going in that slot. So the decision-making is really around chief judge.
And that's for election day, but what about early voting captains?
So early voting captains, that is the thing that we just put on the calendar. There's a timeline in the statute. It does start later for the municipal. So it's, the parties have to give us the names 5 days before the board meeting, and we have to give them notice 20 days before that, and we're looking for those names.
Madam Chair, I have a
Yes, sir.
question for Ms. Ray. When we do the appointments for Election Day officials, I know it's for a 2-year term. When we do appointments for early voting, is it for the full term or is it for the immediate election?
Just for that election.
Thank you.
So the early voting one that you'll be voting on imminently is just the municipal election.
Mhm.
And Deputy
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Hey, Kay, does that take care of what you, we good to move?
Yeah. Yes.
And Neggy, I assume that means you're up next.
Do we need a motion?
No, they're supposed to vote on the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, onwards. All right,
Onward.
so I'm here tonight to present to you the municipal proposed early voting schedule. And so I'm gonna hand out to you the draft that we have for the times and the locations. And then behind that is the, chart that dictates what we have to do in even year elections and odd year elections, because there are some distinct changes and differences in that. So hopefully this is what I use to guide me with our plan.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna hand that to you for reference. Okay, you have your copy. And I do have extra copies if people wanna grab the draft. It's not, you know, again, it's a draft because the board has to vote on it.
Okay.
Okay, so, the municipal election is coming up, and, on November 4th, but, so we are,
Warehouse, okay.
the Board of Elections is, required to provide at least one early voting site during a municipal election. And so our proposal is to provide that site in the downtown location. Unfortunately, not at 35 Woodfin.
Now, maybe
They don't
fortunately.
quite work for us. But anyways, before I get that, I just want to make sure that we understand the sites and our requirements that are for the odd year elections. And that is, right up top here, I pulled it from the comparison chart, but the Board of Elections office, or in lieu of site must be open during normal business hours, Monday through Friday at minimum, okay? That is not the case for even elections, that is way longer hours. Additional sites must be open for the same number of days and times, and this include weekends. And then the Board of Elections office is exempt from that specific requirement. However, on the last Saturday of early voting, all sites have to be open from 8 to 3. That is
Correct.
actually consistent with an even year election. So these are our parameters, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. One site is what we have to provide. Now, the municipalities can then ask for additional sites. Remember, this is coming out of their pocket. So they're aware of that. And in this particular case, we're talking about the town of Weaverville, the town of Woodfin, and the Woodfin Water and Sewer District. So the town of Weaverville has reached out to us, and they've asked for an additional site to open on that last Saturday. So we're gonna be opening a site at their Weaverville Community Center, beautiful, Lake Louise. That's a beautiful site there on Lakeshore Drive in Weaverville. We're gonna be there from 8 to 3 on that last Saturday, okay? Woodfin was also given the option, and they declined to open a site. Now, of course, we will also have election day voting, and that will happen on the 4th, and all of the precincts that fall within those town limits and within the Woodfin Water and Sewer will obviously be open on election day.
Okay.
So this is the proposal. We open for the 2.5 weeks that early voting has to be conducted. We start on Thursday, October the 16th. I am proposing we just stick to Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 at our warehouse, which is located at 50 Cox. I don't know why.
Because I thought you were doing a good job of kind of spreading elections into 40 Cox. I was impressed with this. Oh, I thought maybe we were getting the whole building. I was getting excited.
Yeah, 40 Cox would be awesome. And
With
then, of course,
parking.
Weaverville for that additional site. So that is what I'm proposing that you all today consider and vote on, in order to then get those workers and get everything that we need, equipment and all that stuff. Yes, ma'am.
How many precincts do we actually have
I
on
believe
election day?
10 or 11?
11.
11.
Just curious what that,
Right,
that
within
area,
the
yeah,
town limits.
within the
so
town
Woodfin
limits.
and
Mm.
Weaverville, yeah. And then the water district, yeah, just 10. Just
Okay.
11, sorry, 11.
Thank you.
11. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so all of the, we will open those, but we are looking at maybe combining some of those, and we'll talk about that on the August 19th meeting, yay! But again, this is just the proposed early voting schedule. We're meeting our requirements, we're meeting the minimum, and then of course Weaverville had the option, and they went ahead and took advantage of opening one extra site on that last Saturday. Pretty straightforward here. I do need a vote. It has to be unanimous in order for this to.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I move approval of the staff proposal for 2025 municipal early voting schedule in Montgomery County.
May I have a second, please?
A second.
Mary Ann? All in favor, please?
Wait, there's discussion.
Is there any further discussion?
Yes.
Somehow I knew that when I heard that.
I'm just checking here. So the requirement is that all sites must be open every weekday during early voting period from 8 to 7:30 for the even numbered. But for the odd numbers, no, we can set our own times, correct?
Open during normal business hours, so 8 to 5.
All right, and so we've chosen that because, rather than to 7:30.
Right, we have chosen that because unfortunately the turnout for this particular election and being in downtown and these municipalities are in the north of us.
Right.
Participation unfortunately is not very high. And so 8 to 5 just seemed like the most.
You mean participate for early voting in
early
particular?
voting. Election day definitely sees a lot more turnout. Early voting in this instance does not. So it's opposite. Even years, early voting, we knock it out of the ballpark.
Right.
But during the municipal election, most people wait and vote on election day, and that's a typical the pattern that we have seen.
Yeah, and you can imagine in the past when Asheville was part of it,
Yeah.
the plan would be different.
Different.
But
Yeah.
we're so far from Weaverville and Woodfin,
Right.
they shift towards that Saturday that
Saturday.
And then election day.
and election day, yes. So it's most economical to do the minimum at the election site, the in lieu of site. And we're required to have that.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none, we have a motion and a second.
Now second.
Who seconded?
Mary Ann
Mary
did. Okay. So all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. I would like just very quickly to go over what you can expect from me when I come back on August 19th to present the early voting plan for the primary.
Right.
That's a whole different ballgame. So, on the August 19th meeting, I will have a nice presentation. You will get a packet. I'm going to have a PowerPoint, the whole works. But during that presentation, the purpose of that will be to review the parameters again of what we have to work with and what we're required to do. Again, this board needs to make a unanimous decision for a plan to proceed forward. It will be up to you all to decide the number of sites that we have for early voting and the weekend hours. Our hours from Monday through Friday are already specified in that chart, which is the 8 to 7:30. Okay? In that meeting, again, like I said, I'm going to present you all with a packet with historical data. I'm going to present stats, and then the actual proposed sites that we're proposing to use for the primary will be introduced to you all at that time. What we typically do during that meeting is for you all to absorb that information, ask questions, review it, but we don't actually vote on it just yet.
Right.
The next step will then be to open it up for public input. We want the public's feedback. So we're going to open it up in a public input, a website, where we're going to post our plan, everything that you all got, the public will also be able to see. They'll review it, and then they'll have the opportunity to give us feedback. What do they like? What do they not like? Are any sites, particular, whatever. And so we will open that public input on that day after the meeting, and it'll be open for several weeks. We're gonna let people be able to kind of give us the feedback. Hopefully, we'll get lots of information, lots of comments, and then we will come back. And I believe it's in October, where we will come back and I will present to you all what the public had to say. What did they say? What was the consensus? What was the, the positives? What were the negatives? All of that I will bring to you all for review. At that point, you all can decide, Nagy, let's do this, let's change that, let's think about this, we can, you know, again, another discussion, and you all will then have the choice of saying, I think we're good, we can vote on it at that time, or we can push it to the next meeting and then have a final vote at that point. So, prepare to just get lots of information, review, be ready to absorb all of that, and then come back several weeks later to then discuss a final plan and make final decisions where you all are in agreement and we get to vote on it. Again, it has to be unanimous. It's one of the things that is a must in order for the plan to then proceed forward. And then I'll then report it back to the state board. It gets updated, and then we hit the ground running. That's how we can prepare our PR plan, get all those things that we need to do, website, palm cards, yard signs, the works. Stickers, all that kind of good stuff. So getting this plan ahead and planned and ready to go early helps us prepare, so we're ready to go. Early voting starts in February for the primary. It's insane. I think it's the 12th through like the 28th. It's cold.
Yeah.
Hopefully no snow. But yeah, so it'll be really just around the corner. We celebrate Christmas, we come back, and boom, it's here. Boom, it's here. So, anyways, so that's just a high overview. So I will be back on October 19th. Go over all of that, give you all the information, and then we want to get it out there to the public. We want to get their feedback. We want to get their input, and then come back and review all that, and then you all make that final decision. Okay? So that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you, Nagy.
Thank you.
Director Duncan, do you have anything additional? May I ask for 1 second of a point of privilege, if I may? I'm going to extend a great deal of gratitude to both, well, not both, all three, Jake, Mary Ann, and Sally, for the work that they've done in the time prior to Courtney and I joining this board. And I can't tell you how excited I was when I got the appointment to know that the former chair was going to continue to sit on this board. And for the work that you all have done, the research that you all have done, and the support that we feel in our new roles is with much gratitude. So thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And to the staff who made the trip and learning all of this on this most recent 2 weeks. Thank you for making us feel a part and for feeling welcome to a team that's really a privilege to serve on. So thank you for that. And if I hear no other business, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Wait.
I do have the next meeting date.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh.
AK's reminder.
She'll keep you
I
honest.
missed it almost every
I believe
time.
that would be August 19th at 3:30 here.
Right here. 59
Right here,
Woodford.
yes.
Where are we with the move over for
Oh,
board?
hell. Oh.
You promised.
Paging Dr. Freud.
You promised.
Oh. I did promise.
Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Could have been.
Where are we with this?
So it was supposed to be completed by September. I've gotten some feelings like it's not going to be, and so I've asked for an update on the timeline.
Okay, thank you.
When was our move-in day?
May 1st.
May 1st. May 1st. That was a long time ago. That was back in early spring, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you've got a total board out.
I realize the horse is dead, but I can't help but feed it. Poor horse.